everyone, welcome back to my channel, Diamonds and Washi. My name is Katie and I am back with my belated WIP and Chat for this week. Apologies that I am late, you guys. I'm sure you can probably hear in my voice that I have been feeling a bit under the weather. This is the first day I've really had much of a voice where I feel like I've been able to sit down and record. So I thought let's give this a try. It's Wednesday morning and I thought I can do a little bit of diamond painting and catch up with you guys. So if you are new, first off, welcome. I'm really glad that you're here. I have a whole playlist of a back catalog of WIP and Chats if you'd like to just see kind of what we've chatted about over the years. And if you are back, welcome back. I am really glad that you're here as well. WIP stands for work in progress, and chat just means that we're going to chat a bit today. And yeah, we'll see how long this video goes. I might cut out a little early depending on how I'm feeling, but I felt up to trying to come on here and talk. So I hope that you have been doing well. Thank you for always being so kind and understanding when I need to delay videos. And let's dive into it. Let me tell you briefly about what I'm working on and with today. This is Gumball Trinket, yes, by Palmici from Diamond Art Club. And so I split it into 3 rows this way, and we're opening up this section right here. So this side of the middle row. So you get a little bit of the trinkets over here. They're big, they're really big sections, so I only split it in half this way. So yes, this is one of 6 WIPs I have going currently. It's one of just 2 round drill kits in the mix. I'm going to be using this pen from Butterfly Effect Wares, and the colors just seemed like a good fit for this kit. And then this is a tray that I got from Unimade at the Crafter's Paradise Retreat. I purchased this. I guess this is a pink filament that they hadn't released yet, and I thought, ooh, I'll add a new pink tray to the mix. And then I'm going to be using regular patty wax in my single placer, and it's in the scent Just Peachy. And then I'm going to be, I can't remember if I've tried putty from KC Ventures Co. in the past, but this was in the Crafter's Paradise swag bags, and I thought I would either give this a try for the first or maybe a second time. Yeah, I'll be using this one in my multi-placer. So let me clean out the multi-placer on this pen, and then we'll load it up with some fresh putty and some fresh wax, and we can dive into it. I use tweezers to pull out old putty or old wax. I feel like for a while there was sort of this idea that you shouldn't use metal tweezers on the inside of a metal multi-placer because you could ding it up or create burrs or something like that. I mean, not that this means that it's completely infallible, but I've been using tweezers on my metal multi-placers for years and years and years, and I haven't noticed any significant issues or any issues at all, really. So I like to think that it's not that big of a deal. I'm not trying to really dig into it. It's like the sides of the metal super hard, so maybe that's why. I don't know. But I remember the first time I heard that, I thought, oh, okay. People were saying like, oh, use a toothpick. The only thing I managed to do was break off pieces of toothpick into the putty. I was not able to really dig it out that easily. Let me put this on a hard surface. Out of frame here. Yeah, I really can't remember if I've tried out KC Ventures Co. putty before. My memory is just not it. It seems like it's not too soft, which is great because it has been hotter than heck, and this is, I feel like, the most difficult weather to find putty that works well in. So I'm happy to see that it's loading up without any fuss or anything like that. Sorry for a bit of a jump cut for you guys. It'll have only been a moment, but I had to reset my camera, so apologies if it's off at all. I will explain what happened. I've actually been gone for like 15-20 minutes. I'll do that in a little bit though, all's well. Okay, so let me load up the single placer side. With the patty wax bricks, I like to just flip it to the back side and I just scrape and I spin my pen a bit to make sure I'm kind of packing the wax in from all angles. It tends to start looking ugly on the back, but it's still completely usable. Oh, hello, Skipp. My wonderful little tuxedo cat here. He just jumped up on the table. He sometimes likes to eat while I'm recording a video. I don't know if there's something about how I talk, or he just feels like he has company or something when I'm recording. He likes to come up here and eat and feel like he has company. Okay. And I'm going to open this up, and we'll start with this big old color blocking section down here that is the background. I know when I saw that they were releasing this one originally, I wondered if they might do this as a partial. A partial diamond painting is where the whole image doesn't actually necessarily have diamonds and some of it is printed. They've released some paintings with solid color backgrounds like this that are partials, where like this part might just be printed and I wouldn't have to place any diamonds here. But I wonder if because there's some variation in these colors in the background, if that's why they didn't do it that way. I honestly have no idea. I don't necessarily mind it. It can be hard to try to make sure that the rows look like they're spaced really evenly and stuff, especially with a light color. But I don't know. I feel like it's turning out okay. Diamond Art Club's grid is pretty solid, so yeah. Anyway, so hello, how are you doing? I hope that you've been having a wonderful week so far. I know that we're at the halfway point of the week at the moment. And normally these WIP and Chats go up on Mondays, but this is the second week in a row that I've had to put up a community post saying, I'm sorry, my WIP and Chat's going to be late this week. Last week, I was just really, really wiped out, like getting ready for back to school and everything. And then this week, I just ended up really, really sick. So I think that honestly, my body is telling me that I need to slow down, that I've just been pushing it too hard. And so when I wasn't listening to it, my body's like, okay, well, you're going to get sick and you're going to have to listen. So that's kind of how it feels to me anyway. I'm like, no, I got way, way, way too much to be doing, to be getting sick. So I'm trying to find a better balance of it in terms of getting better sleep. Sleep has been kind of a struggle. Falling asleep and staying asleep has been tough, but I'm working on it. And trying to find a good balance with like, okay, here are good times to record, here are good times to do videos, that kind of thing. So anyway, I'm hoping this is not going to be a new norm where I'm not able to upload WIP and Chats on Mondays like normal. So I don't think it will be. But like I said at the beginning, thank you guys for your flexibility in terms of when I do have to delay a video. I don't think I've ever had someone come on and be like, no, you really should be getting it together and still posting and recording and posting a video anyway. I will say my diamond painting has been pretty slow the past week. Definitely slow going with my multiple WIPs. I had originally thought that I might have, some of them done before the end of August. And frankly, at the pace that I'm going, I kind of feel like I might not have any finishes for the month of August because I started all of these like right before August started. So the way I count my finishes, I might not have any finishes for this month. We'll see. But it's, I know it's not about the speed necessarily, but if I have to post 0 finishes, that's going to feel, in my month in review video, that's going to feel kind of wild. But how I'm feeling about my WIPs is still pretty good, actually. My slow pace of diamond painting has had more to do with not feeling great and just busyness with stuff in life. It's not because I don't want to be diamond painting. Whenever I am sitting down and diamond painting, I'm enjoying the projects that I'm working on. I don't think any of them have felt like slogs at all, actually. I am still enjoying having multiple WIPs going. It's fun to rotate between different projects. And I just finished, before working on this one, I finished a second row on Botanical, my lettuce stitch kit that is over 100 colors and is pretty big. And I I don't totally understand why the amount of greens in that kit don't bother me, because historically I don't enjoy working with a lot of the color green. But in that kit, I just don't mind it at all. I don't know if it's something to do with all of the little things and details that are going on in that image, maybe. Plus, the quality is so good, and there's a little bit of the novelty of that having just a really high color count. I don't know. There's a lot of reasons why it feels like that kit, the color palette, is not feeling tedious to me. Whatever the reason is, I'm not upset about it. But yeah, historically working on color palettes, diamond paintings that have lots of earth tones, lots of greens and browns, I usually get pretty bored. So now that one's been a lot of fun to work on. And yeah, my other WIPs they've all been going well. I did a row on Olivia's room before that, which is a really fun pink room scene by Mrs. Butter D. I've worked on Sleepy Fairy. I've done I worked on Spring Afternoon by Laura Paltrett from Diamond Artisan. I think that one came up in my last WIP and Chat. I was like, oh, I'm excited I get to start this one soon. And that one has been really good to work on. It's been a minute since I've worked on a Diamond Artisan kit, and their quality is really good. I like a lot of the artists and artwork that they have. Yeah, so all around, this has been a great round of WIPs. I'm having a really nice time when I am sitting down to diamond paint. So yeah, that's the diamond painting side of things. And then definitely starting to feel in the mood for drills and chills and all things fall and Halloween. It has worked out well to have the kids going back to school earlier this year in terms of how that falls in relation to drills and chills, because in past years, my kids have gone back to school at the very end of August, and there's always been this just hectic sprint of, okay, back to school rush right on top of trying to get ready to kick off drills and chills. And having the kids back in school and settling back into our routine there before drills and chills starts, I think has helped. And I think especially given that I got sick like just a few days after they went back to school, I don't know, I'm glad for this timing. That one's got a hole in it. We're going to toss that. But drills and chills, the prep for that I feel like is coming along well. I've been working on the admin side of things to make sure stuff gets done and trying to fall into a good rhythm with that. I want to get everything squared away with all of our sponsors, and right now I'm working on putting together the official event sponsor list to share with event participants. And so I want to be sharing that with, by the end of this week, I want to be sharing that with folks. And I also, I'm really thankful we have someone that's going to help us with the admin side of things this year, and hopefully help things like prize distribution and everything go really smoothly. I feel so grateful that we have this problem, but we have, so many prizes to give away. It's in like the double digits every single week. And I love that means that multiple people then will win prizes. Like, it means that it's more likely that throughout the course of the event, you'll actually win a prize. If there's hundreds we're giving away over the course of the event. And the thing is that just on the admin side of things, it's can be a lot of just sort of work and coordination for, every single week sending out double digits of emails to the winners and to the shops with the winners info. And again, I'm not complaining. I really am not. I'm just admitting that I struggle with a lot of executive dysfunction. And so doing admin work like this is something that I just have a really hard time with. And I know that about myself, so I try to mitigate so that it's not negatively impacting other people. Because it has in the past. I'm not perfect, and I'm not afraid to admit that, like, it's taken a lot more time than I would like sometimes to coordinate prize distribution and stuff like that. And I really am genuinely always trying to improve and be better about that kind of thing. So I'm hoping that this year will go even more smoothly in that regard. But I'm excited for the event. I'm excited for fall and Halloween, though here in California, our hottest months are August and September. And so like we've been in the mid 90s Fahrenheit every single day. I know there's other folks that have it hotter, but this just feels hot. It does not get cool overnight either. Like we're lucky if it drops below 70 overnight. So it just like my core body temperature is just hot, and I hate being hot so much. So I'm ready for fall weather, but realistically, even though I'm going to be trying to get in the mood for fall with drills and chills kicking off on September 1st, it's still going to feel very much like summer where I live. I don't know if you guys can hear this. Skipp curled up like right next to me on the ground, and he's not like fully purring, but when he's really content and he's kind of just hanging out, he'll do this kind of heavy, relaxed breathing, and it's yeah, it almost sounds like a slight snore. But he's like right beside me doing that, and I'm so curious if the microphone's picking it up at all. It's so cute. He's so sweet and so happy. He's really tickled because I just brought Connor home from school early. The pause that I had earlier, and like 5 minutes into this video, was because the school was calling me, and let me tell you what, it has not been a smooth start to the school year. We'll talk more about that in a little bit. But basically, Connor was sick and I needed to go and pick him up. And so Skipp, he's okay. But Skipp is just really tickled that, because Connor's like his person, his favorite. He's very affectionate and amazing with all of us, but Connor's his top favorite. So he's excited to be downstairs and have this like extra time with Connor, because I don't know, cats, I swear, have this good internal clock. He was not expecting Connor to be home this early, so he's not mad. Skipp, you're so good.
Where is he?
He's laying on the floor by the door over here. Connor's gonna come out and see him. Oh, he heard your voice. Oh, chirp, chirp, chirp. He heard Connor call for him and just went meow, meow, meow. Went over to go get some pets. They're so sweet. Anyway, so I am very ready for fall, but I'll just be manifesting fall vibes through drills and chills while it's 1,000,000 degrees here. Anyone else feel like you're just going to be having to think fall thoughts even though it's very summery weather where you are? I haven't decided what I'm going to be working on yet. I'm trying to figure out a little bit how I should try to do things logistically, where I'm going to already have several WIPs still going once September 1st hits, and I'm totally fine with having multiple fall WIPs going, and I want to embrace getting to work on all of the Halloween and fall themed things for sure. But I also am gonna, I don't want to table all of my current WIPs for multiple months, so I'll have to kind of figure out how to balance that. I'm someone that, as a seasonal crafter, I really only like to work on fall kits during fall time, Christmas kits around the holidays, that kind of thing. And I have so many fall and Halloween themed kits that I want to take advantage of. If it feels like it's a time I can work on these, I want to get through some of the kits in my collection that that fit that theme, because I'm not going to work on them any other time during the year. But I'm the one that decided to kit up a million other WIPs at the end of July. So I'll just have to kind of see how this works out. But yeah, I have lots of possibilities, and I'm sure that plenty of companies will be doing some seasonal releases and stuff like that for fall and Halloween. And I always like to leave a little bit of space for working on new releases too. So I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But let me know what you guys are thinking as far as your seasonal kits, fall and Halloween. And oh, I see that he flooped. he flooped. He's a croissant now. He's not a loaf. He's a croissant. He floops. He will fall over onto his side and kind of put his paws up in the air a little bit, and he wants belly rubs. And we call it jokingly the danger belly, because while he does really like belly rubs, he is a very stereotypical cat in that he will kind of all at once decide that he's done. He'll give you a warning nip and you'll kind of see him start to indicate that he's done. But it's just so funny the way he can go from like, yes, give me belly pets, I love it, to, oh, yeah, he's like making little air biscuits. Like, he's very happy. But like when he's done, he's done. But yeah, we call it the danger belly. Yeah, he's purring. Aww. On the YouTube side of things, I saw that YouTube made some changes to their their YouTube partner program. I think the changes are going into effect a little bit like later, like in February or something. And I know I've seen some folks with newer channels that are trying to meet like the requirements for the partner program, kind of panicking because YouTube did increase what they're looking for. And I don't know, YouTube's been making a lot of changes lately that I don't know, it can be a little stressful sometimes for sure. And I think about just sort of the uncertainty of being at the mercy of, you know, YouTube's algorithm. And I heard that. I know. Oh, he's just a big baby. Being at the mercy, oh yeah, there, he's done. Being at the mercy of YouTube's algorithm. I mean, heck, I was worried about going multiple days here without posting because I don't know how the algorithm works. I just know that it really does. It rewards consistency and regular posting, and I just don't know how closely it's looking at like, okay, I normally post about either every day or every other day. Is it going to, I don't know, respond accordingly when I go a few days without posting when I normally wouldn't have those kinds of gaps? So I don't know, but I don't know. It's something that you don't really know. Okay. Let's see. So, yes, I am trying to listen to my body and rest when it feels like, okay, it's time to rest. I just have like a cold cough kind of bug. But I just feel like, is it as I'm getting older, these things are hitting me harder, or was it just a little bit nastier bug than usual? But this has really, really knocked me out. I slept so much on Monday in particular. I was sleeping so much. Adam was so wonderful. And after school, he just took the kids out of the house for a couple hours. He's like, I'm just going to take them out so that you can rest and have just some quiet and everything. And it's like, the kids will like getting out of the house too. And I was like, you don't have to do that. Like, I can just go upstairs. And he said, no, it's okay. He took care of dinner and did all those things. So I, of course, really appreciated that. We try to tag team things when the other person isn't feeling well. But still, I often am still trying to power through a lot and trying to get everything done that I feel like I need to get done even when I'm not feeling super well. So yeah, I'm doing a lot of sleeping, just coughing a lot and just feeling super congested. And the thing that's been really weird about like this particular bug is I just feel like my body's struggling to regulate my temperature. Even though the thermometer is just showing that I have a low grade fever, sometimes it's like I both am freezing and sweating all at once. And I feel like I'm sweating a ton. And I don't think it's just the summer heat. I'm having a hard time just sort of feel like regulating my temperature in general. So I don't know what's going on, but I'm hoping that maybe I'm on the upswing here. So, Connor, careful. It's okay. It's okay. Yeah. So anyway, I hope I'm on the upswing, and I hope you guys are staying healthy. Especially, I feel like with kids going back to school, I understand that that's just, it feels like it's almost stereotypical. Kids go back to school, and I immediately get sick a couple of days later. I don't know. And the kids weren't sick originally, is what was kind of crazy. Like I was the first one, so it almost felt like they brought germs home to share with me, but it was like they just carried it. They didn't actually really get it themselves to begin with. But yeah, back to school. I mentioned that it's been a little bit of a rocky transition, mostly with my youngest, honestly. And now I guess a little bit with Connor missing school because I don't know that he'll be able to go tomorrow. But yeah, Micah, I've already, I joked, I was like, the second day of school, I'm getting a call from the school psychologist to check in. Not the most auspicious start to the year, but Micah just, honestly, he regressed a lot over the summer. And, we knew it, and we had kind of talked to the teacher and stuff about it. But there just have been, I think, some things that he was really struggling with that they were like, okay, let's chat about this a little bit more and just see, like, is there anything we've been doing at home that's been helping? And let's kind of tag team some ways to help with supporting him. And so I appreciate so much that they were really proactive and very sympathetic about it. They weren't upset. It was just, okay, here's some things that we're noticing. Are you noticing at home? And what's working there, and here's what's working here. So I'm glad for that. I think that transitions are always a little bit hard, and so there's at least a degree of this that none of us are surprised by, especially I feel like kids that do have special needs. It's a big change and a big difference to go from summer break to getting back in a school routine, and vice versa. The transition to summer break I feel like went kind of smoothly, but back to school, it always takes a bit to kind of get back in the swing of things. But they started last week and just had a couple of days before the weekend. And then today is Wednesday, so this was technically their 5th day of school. And Connor is really liking his teacher a lot. I got to very briefly meet her at school drop-off. On the first day of school, you get to walk your kiddos on campus to their classrooms. Normally parents aren't allowed on campus, but for that first day, you can walk on campus with them and walk them to where they line up to go into their classrooms. And so Connor's teacher was just kind of walking through her line of kids, introducing herself, and she actually, I think this is her first year in a full-time teaching position, but she remembered Connor from substitute teaching in his class last year, and he remembered her. She seems really sweet, and Connor said that he really likes her, and I think that's really, I'm happy to hear it. His bestie that's been in his class the past 3 years switched schools, unfortunately, this year, he found out. So he was kind of bummed to see that she wasn't going to be back or in his class. But maybe, I don't know, maybe once he goes to middle school, like a lot of the elementary schools consolidate into one or two middle schools in the district, like maybe she'll be there. But he said he's got some other friends in his class that he likes, and I'm hoping that he hits it off with some of them and he can just have some good friendships and stuff. I remember middle school being really, really hard growing up. Middle school for me started in 6th grade, whereas here 6th grade is still elementary school. And I just remember 6th and 7th grade, I got bullied quite a lot. There was one kid I still remember to this day. His whole government name. He was so mean to me. And one of the most frustrating things to me now as an adult is the fact that, like, he was bullying me in front of teachers like shoving my books off my desk and like grabbing on my backpack while I was wearing it and like yanking it or pulling things out of my hands. He was doing this stuff in front of teachers and they just weren't doing anything about it. It made me like, it makes me angry in retrospect that there were adults that saw this happening. And I'm sure there were other folks that were, kids that were getting bullied too. It's like, how many of us were treated in a way that was not okay and not appropriate, and these adults in the room weren't doing anything about it? Yeah, I would consider it like actual bullying that was happening, and not just sort of the way that people can overuse the word, I guess. But I just remember I hated 6th and 7th grade. I just remember coming home and crying multiple days. 8th grade, things got a lot better. I kind of got really solidified with a friend group, and I had a good time in 8th grade. And then high school, I was really involved in marching band, and that's just where my people were. And I just loved band in general. I'm a music nerd at heart. Yeah, middle school was rough. So I'm hoping that with 6th grade being in with elementary school, that's not too hard for Connor. And we'll see. Yeah, middle school's a whole year away. But I was definitely emotional taking them to school on the first day of school last week, just because I knew it was the last time that we'd be doing a first day of school, walking them to the same elementary school. And I just cherish these walks together and know how special they are and how wonderful it is that we get to walk to school. And so I'll miss that a lot. Middle school has a whole different start time from elementary, and it's not really walking distance, so we'll be driving. And so next year it'll just mornings and afternoons will look a lot different. But we're just going to enjoy this year for what it is and not get too ahead of ourselves. But yeah, the first bit of school so far has been a little bit of an adventure. I'm hoping that we'll just keep kind of settling into a routine as we keep going along here. On the other side of things, so I'm just wiping my nose a little bit. Micah had a long-awaited appointment with a neurologist yesterday, and as in when we'd gotten the referral and everything approved, and I had called to make the appointment, they were booking like 6 months out. So I was very excited that it was finally time. And the main reason that we had made this appointment was to talk about some issues with his hip. And since we had the appointment, we thought, well, there's a couple other things that we'll go ahead and cover with them as well. For example, the sleep study that he had done last month, they had told us like, oh, we see you have an appointment with the neurologist. We'll send the results over to them and they can discuss with you. And I was like, oh, that's not going to go back to our primary. And they said, well, it can, but this is also relevant for neurology, so they can, also talk to you about it then. That's totally fine. We'll see them, and it's going to take them almost that long to pull all the results of the sleep study together. So there was that. And then also we just wanted to talk to them about, because I wasn't sure if they would be the ones to talk to about potentially getting Micah an official diagnosis for not just autism, but like we suspect ADHD, and just wonder if there could be other things going on. And so we wanted to see like, okay, what's the process look like? Is this something that you guys can diagnose, or what should be our next steps? So we had kind of three things to talk about with them. So we had that yesterday. I thought the neurologist was great in terms of, especially with regards to his hip, because that's the long and short of it is that basically whenever Micah is really physically active, like on his feet, moving around, like if we were to go to, like when we went to this railroad park in Arizona, and we were just walking around there looking at stuff and playing and all that, it's like once he's been doing that for an hour, hour and a half, or if we go to just a park here, once he's been doing that for an hour and a half, his leg will kind of start to wobble and have a hard time walking and bearing weight on it. And so we had seen primary care physician, we saw physical therapy, we saw an orthopedic, and the orthopedic had kind of just thrown up his hands and been like, I don't know what's going on here, which is fine. Like, if they don't know, they don't know. And that is what it is. And originally the orthopedic was just kind of like, well, just see if it gets better. And I had said, this has been going on and off for more than a year, like years at this point. I don't really know that wait and see is necessarily the right call. And then he had said, oh, well, maybe you could see neuro. And I said, okay, great, we'll do that. So the neurologist asked a lot of questions and wanted to see some of the videos that I'd taken over the years of this happening. And at one point she brought in one of the other neurologists in the practice to kind of look at it and talk about it as well. And they said something is going on here and we're going to figure out what it is. And that was really reassuring to me, just because I didn't know. I kind of thought they might go, I don't really know. Take him back to physical therapy or something. I just didn't know. But, excuse me. I said, something's going on here and we're going to try to figure out what it is. So they're suspecting, right now, they're kind of suspecting, they said something to do with electrolytes, potentially like a potassium deficiency, or something like that. But they said the kinds of things that they're thinking it could be are typically linked to genetic disorders. And they had asked a lot of questions about our family history, and there doesn't seem to be anything like that we know of. So they are wanting to do some genetic testing for Micah as a next step. So we'll be looking into that. They put in for the insurance authorization. We'll go from there. So we're looking at genetic testing and hoping maybe we can get some answers from that. I don't really know. I've never had to go this route with either of my kids or myself. Like, I've never had genetic testing done. So I'll be interested to see kind of what comes out of this. But I was really happy to see that they were looking at this and going, yeah, something is going on here, especially with videos of this happening multiple times over like a 3-year period. It's something that we're able to mitigate, and but it does affect things like, for example, we wouldn't take him to Disney or something like that or that's kind of an extreme example, but like we wouldn't take him someplace where he isn't going to have like a good opportunity to sit and rest for, a good chunk of time. There's just things that aren't really practical for us to do, which is okay. But, I don't know. I feel like this is only going to affect him more as he gets older. And if there's something going on, we can see if we can address it. So that's kind of that side of things. They also gave us a referral for a different spot. They said something like if they're above the age of 6, they don't do the assessing and diagnosing for things like autism and ADHD. And I was like, oh, okay. I have no idea why. I should have asked, just out of curiosity, not to like challenge them, but just like, why is that? What's with that cutoff? So they are referring us to a different behavior center for that. And then the sleep study results came back with some mild apnea. Not enough that they feel like he needs to immediately go to like a CPAP, but enough that they kind of took a look at his tonsils and stuff. His tonsils, I guess, are kind of enlarged. They're suggesting we see ENT about it for like some non-surgical options to maybe start. And so we'll kind of see how that goes. So we just walked out of there with a bunch of referrals, and Adam was like, really? they couldn't do anything. I was like, it's not that they couldn't do anything. They actually scheduled, they want us to come back in 6 months so we can touch base about all this stuff. I don't know if the genetic testing, if those results will just go back to neuro, but I was like, they're not just cutting us loose. They are wanting to be staying in touch with us. So anyway, as soon as I hear back from insurance with the authorizations, I'll call, and I'll just really hope that it's not another 6-month wait to get in to these specialists, but we'll do what we need to do, But that's kind of the update on that. And I'll keep you guys posted as we find out more. Let me see, how am I doing on time? I've cropped this up into multiple clips, so I'm trying to add up and see how long I've been talking. So that's the update with Micah. And then Connor, like I mentioned, I had to go and pick him up from school. Poor guy. I guess just wasn't feeling super great. Adam took them to school this morning so that I could sleep. But I guess Connor just wasn't feeling awesome when he went in. And I guess he had gone to the nurse's office once to check in earlier in the morning. And then they had decided, like, oh, let's see if, he wanted to see if he could make it to the end of the day. And then I guess he got sick at the playground, poor guy. So they called me, and he's got a fever and all that. So he's sick, he's legit sick. I'm guessing he caught what I have. I'm not totally sure, but it seems like it's a decent possibility. So he's just going to be home and resting, and I'm going to go pick up Micah from school here shortly. And hopefully he's staying healthy. I don't think he was seeming like he was getting sick, so hopefully he's in good shape. Let's see. Oh, we also finally put together a new bookshelf for Micah's room. My mom and I had picked one up from IKEA when she was last out here to visit, but we kind of had to do musical chairs with our furniture first before we could put up the bookshelf. So we had been planning to get rid of this really old, actually it wasn't that old, but it was this armchair that was in our living room that I had gotten for really cheap off of Wayfair 6 years ago, and it did not hold up well. I don't think that I would get furniture from Wayfair again with how poorly it held up. I mean, yes, granted, it was cheap, but I don't even know how worth it was. But we had this Lazy Boy rocking chair that we've had in the kids' rooms that has just gone between the kids' rooms since they were babies. And so that was in Micah's room, and we didn't really need it to stay in there at this point because he's not a baby. I'm not using it for, rocking him. It's good for sitting in to read books and stuff, but yeah, we didn't have to keep that in his room. So we thought, well, let's get rid of the old armchair. I'm going to sneeze. Excuse me. Let's get rid of the old armchair, the bad quality one in the living room, and then just bring the one from Micah's room, the Lazy Boy, downstairs. And then the bookshelf that we had gotten was going to go where the Lazy Boy had been in Micah's room. But in order to get rid of the old armchair, it wasn't even worth salvaging for someone to do as a project, because just even down to its core, it was falling apart. So I felt very wasteful, but it was genuinely not salvageable. So we had to call and schedule a bulk item pickup because our city's trash service, it will not pick up anything that's not physically in your trash can unless you've scheduled a bulk item pickup. So we had scheduled that, and then for 2 weeks in a row, they didn't show up when they were supposed to. And so I was calling and following up and trying to see, do we need to do something different? Is it our fault? Is it just a miscommunication? Anyway, they finally picked that chair up, and then we were able to go ahead and move the Lazy Boy down, and then assembled Micah's new bookcase in his room. And he was so excited to move all of his books onto it. He just thought it was so fun to have this new bookshelf, and now we can see all of his books a lot more easily. And yeah, so that was in there, and I took the chance to go ahead and try to tidy up and kind of reorganize just a little bit in his room, and I like the way it kind of is laid out and stuff now. So that was fun. I'm glad to get that checked off my list as well. And then in the evenings, I've occasionally still had the chance to play Fortnite, and it still cracks me up to even say that sentence out loud. That yes, I've been playing and enjoying Fortnite as my video game of choice lately. It's just been so fun to play with some of my friends, and to see like how fun it is to collect. It's basically like Pokemon. There's these little sprites that you can collect, and we all have checklists and we're trading with each other and stuff so we could get all the sprites and stuff. And I guess there's a new season or chapter that's going to be starting here like tomorrow, and then there will be new sprites and things are going to change and stuff, so I'll be interested to see how that goes. But it's been fun to do that in the evening sometimes and just be, I don't know, have like a little bit of social time and whatnot. But yeah, never did I ever think that as a 30-year-old that I'd be playing Fortnite of all things. But no, it's been fun. And then as far as what I've been reading and watching and listening to, I haven't really added any new books to the mix yet. I keep meaning to go ahead and start the next Brandon Sanderson book and getting sidetracked. But I did see on kind of the bookish side of things that Sarah J. Maas announced we have titles and book covers for the next ACOTAR books, and I think blurbs too. And I liked the ACOTAR series. I liked it a lot. My favorite series of hers is Throne of Glass. And the thing is, I've read all of her books. And her most recent release, the third Crescent City book, I just didn't enjoy quite as much. And I don't know. I'm a little nervous. I'm hopeful that I'm going to enjoy these ACOTAR books a little bit more. But I'll be interested to kind of see what sort of direction they take and stuff. But yeah, I did see those announcements, and the first one is coming out, is it in October, November? It's soon. It's really soon. I don't know if I'm going to try to do any rereading of her other books before those come out, but probably not at this point. But I don't know. We'll see. Anyone else excited for those? On the watching side of things, I don't really have anything new to add here either. I feel so boring at the moment. I haven't started any new shows. I've been mostly watching like the commentary side of YouTube. I'm in the middle of one of Hannah Alonso's videos. She does really interesting like anti-MLM kind of content and like de-influencing kinds of content. And I just find her to be so refreshing and so funny. And I appreciate her takes on things. It's very practical. So I've been enjoying her videos and going through a little bit of her back catalog. So I don't know, I hadn't been seeing her stuff in my algorithm for a while. So I feel like I missed a lot of her recent videos. So I'm playing a little bit of catch up. So I guess that could be my watching and my listening too, now that I think about it. Because I kind of treat it like a podcast and put it on in the background. Yeah, not super exciting stuff in this part of my videos. I like to do these little check-ins of what I've been reading and watching and listening to, and sometimes what I've been gaming, but I don't know. I'm definitely feeling a little bit of like brain fog, like just sort of feeling a little bit under the weather. So I suppose I will try to go ahead and wrap things up. We've got to be, I think we're close-ish to the hour mark anyway. So what I've got coming out on YouTube this week, as I'm able to, I'm going to try to get to, I have a couple more unboxings that I would like to share. And along with, I'm really overdue to do a small shop haul. I did my Crafters Paradise sponsor spotlight I was over the weekend maybe. And so that was kind of small shop haul-ish. And you'll get some small shop haul type videos with drills and chills for sure. But I have some other things that have accumulated over the course of several months that it could be fun to maybe try to get to in a video. And I think those are the main things. I keep meaning to try to do a logbook flip through, but I was waiting until I had a functional printer and could print out pictures to add for the pages that didn't, for the kits that didn't come with stickers or otherwise images that I could just take from the kit and put in my logbook. So maybe I'll try to get to that this week. We'll see. But I'm just going to try to listen to my body as much as I can and not overdo it. Because like I said, I kind of feel like my body is trying to tell me to slow down a little bit. But I've got so much to do. So I've just got to find a better balance with it. But let's see. If you made it all the way to the end of this video, let's keep it simple this week. How about just a heart emoji? Just a heart emoji. I'm sending love to any parents that have just done back to school or getting ready to send their kids back to school. I hope that everything goes well for you guys, and sending love to everyone. Because I feel like a lot of people are going through something right now. So I hope you're hanging in there and able to find ways to take care of yourself and find ways to rest and do something that you enjoy, just little things that hopefully, I don't know, just help a bit. So thank you guys for spending some time with me today and for, again, being so flexible about me having to put this up late. I appreciate it, and I'm glad that I could hop on. I hopefully will be back in next week's WIP and Chat at normal time with a less froggy and hoarse sounding voice. Yeah. That's all I can think of. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed. Do all the things. Like this video if you liked it, and leave a comment letting me know how you're doing and what you were working on while we chatted today. And yeah, all that stuff. But I'm going to let you go. I hope you are doing very, very well. Have a day and a week as wonderful as you are, and I will talk to you in the next one. Bye, guys.